Well, people often wonder whether the price increases that we saw during the last 10 years are due to physical scarcities, and in fact they are not. The fact is that prices have not only doubled, but also are 10 times as high as they had been like 10 years ago for some specialty metals in particular, but for most commodities as well. And this reflects more the increase in demand of countries like China, but also the high level of demand in most other regions of the world, including the Europeans. So there is more demand than supply, and there are several barriers and governance challenges which the markets have not yet solved. So at the end of the day, the prices do not reflect physical scarcities, but scarcities of governance and markets. Well, one of the main markets is the market for iron ore. And this is perhaps typical. Or take aluminum. These are the main mass metals, and you use it in almost everyday product you can imagine, not just in cars and construction, but also in many electronic devices. There are just a few main suppliers on the world market, and it takes usually up to 10, if not 20 years to open up a new mine. And if the demand explodes, like it is the case in the construction market in Asia, for instance, building all those cities, bringing new roads on the street, then this means that the iron ore market by nature is constrained by the inability of markets to deliver new supply. At the same time, it also tells us that you need to look at the whole life cycle of using resources. There is a huge ability to recycle the materials better, but you need to know where the materials are and where the products end. And this is not yet the case. I think in the end, and in the report, we look at what we call this Global Resource Nexus, the interrelatedness of all natural resources. It is more than just convincing mining companies to do a bit better. It is, at the end, a new approach to looking at resources in a life cycle-wide oriented manner, which means that the efficiency, the productivity, which we usually relate to labor, this needs to shift to include and focus on natural resources. Therefore, resource productivity, I think, is the next great game of the next decades for all economies worldwide. Like we did in the past on increasing labor productivity, it should basically be resource productivity that should and will probably become the main force of innovation and growth. And this comes along also with 1-2 key suggestions, like setting up a new data hub, a global data hub for data on natural resources and the environment and the indexes, plus a multi-stakeholder forum that can deal with those issues.